I stepped away from social media and sharks and things like that several years ago. It was just so over the top ridiculous, kind of like Shark Week. I stopped being able to watch Shark Week a long time ago. So I started working with other species, and that was not encouraging. Seeing how humans treat mammals made me realize how effed sharks are. But I always get drawn back to the sharks. It's hard not to talk about it at all. I put out a little bit every year. Got a documentary coming out the end of this year, and decided to have a little fun making fun of Shark Week. I chose the episode that I did because of the orca white shark story. And Shark Week is really run with blaming the orcas. And so anyway, I'm back with sharks. And in order to promote what I did, I decided to go on social media. And here's the problem. It's hard to log in and post something and not see some feeds. And man, during Shark Week, you're pretty likely to see some feeds. Have people actually gotten worse in the years that I haven't been on social media and haven't been watching Shark Week? I mean, I can't believe the crap I'm seeing. Like, was it always this bad? Is it my time away that makes me just perceive that it's gotten worse? Or has it actually gotten worse? I just finished that Belly of the Beast parody, and like some of the things I made fun of them saying, and part of the joke was to predict that they'd say something even dumber next time. I wasn't even trying, and saw posts today from the new Belly of the Beast. I haven't seen the episode yet, but the social media promotions, and lo and behold, I mean, I can't believe they can outdo themselves. It's one thing to blame the producers. It's one thing to blame the network. It's one thing to blame the entertainment industry. But you have scientists who are supposedly doing great things, saying things that are just embarrassing, certainly worthy of mocking. I'll circle back to the Belly of the Beast bit, but this other thing I saw that was just painful was a scientist excited about causing a shark to prematurely give birth. Spontaneous abortion caused by the stress he was inducing. Stress-induced parturition. Yep. Stress-induced parturition, they call it. Something like that. I mean, it's common enough that they have a name for it. And him just sitting there talking to the camera like, oh, this magnificent animal, and look at these babies. What a wonderful experience. How are the people that are making it onto Shark Week this dumb? Is this just what humans are? You're so detached from nature. You don't understand that you caused this shark to abort its babies. He actually says, we just pulled these sharks up on the hook one after the other, and they started giving birth. What a miracle. What a special day for us. These sharks decided to share their babies with us. You actually don't understand what's happening. It's not a new concept. There are a lot of papers published about the stress reaction of sharks spontaneously giving birth way before they're supposed to, and add to it. He says it's a deep water shark, and you just pulled it up on a hook, which means that you brought that shark through levels of pressure, through levels of light, through levels of temperature it's not supposed to go through. And lo and behold, a survival instinct kicks in, trying to, in some way, preserve the next generation of life. Basically, this shark is saying, I'm going to die, but I don't want my babies to die. They're better off being prematurely brought into the world. I have to abort my babies for their sake because I am being so abused right now that I think I'm going to die. That's what scientists are doing to the animal. I mean, the speciesism is through the roof. I say speciesism because it's pretty mind-boggling to me, the cognitive dissonance of people who claim to be working with these animals. These animals are objects. These animals are props for them to hold up for the television screen and then ask whether or not the ratings went up. Stop acting like you have a relationship or actual respect for these animals. And I have to bring in that disconnect, the topic of the disconnect, because, well, we're looking at scientists, right? I mean, these people can't be that dumb. I mean, they at least have enough brain cells to get through school. That's not the same thing as common sense or wisdom, but still, after a while, the evidence has to add up. Like, I heard about spontaneous abortions through stressed sharks without even wanting to know. You know, just being in the shark arena, you hear about these things at some point in time. Especially, well, I guess in my case, I get upset about scientists capturing sharks to mutilate them with tags and keep pretending like the answer to their salvation lies in the data we haven't found. And the common sense part I'm trying to get to is, how does it not occur to this person who studies sharks, quote unquote, studies sharks, that this is not a good thing? I mean, there aren't that many options. Either you are actually just timing this so well that the shark decided to give birth. The shark wanted the babies to see the sun. Hey, now that I'm above the surface, where it's so natural for me to be, I've been waiting until now to introduce my babies to the world. Okay, so there's that possibility, which is the possibility that this scientist has apparently adopted. And then there's the possibility that something's wrong. 2 out of 2 sharks you pulled up on hooks happen to be giving birth. Okay, so maybe one person on the set is that dumb, but not also the person next to him, right? Surely not the writer, the director. How about the cameraman? All these people are actually this far gone from nature that they can't understand that while you're smiling and stroking this mother, she's just spat out from her vagina babies that weren't ready to enter the world because your treatment of her makes her think she's about to die. And they're smiling during this. And talking about the magnificent animal, this velvet shark, is just the best thing. Holy crap. The people on Shark Week make me think human beings are now off the reservation entirely. And then I get horrified thinking about who's watching it and nodding their heads. I mean, I can't tell the difference between a parody and an actual Shark Week episode. Like, what that guy was doing is the script I would have written to make fun of people pulling sharks out of the water. I would have said, oh, it'd be funny if I was sitting there talking like this was the best thing ever. And lo and behold, here's a guy actually doing it, thinking it is the best thing ever. This guy is disgusting. Everyone involved in this show is disgusting. Someone asked me to send them a quote about what loving sharks means. Man, it ties into this. What does it mean? The word love. On the most basic level, I've always criticized this because of something Rodney Fox said to me when I interviewed him. He's like, everybody's like, oh, sharks are wonderful. I understand that they're so important. Just don't let them at my beach. You know, everybody pretends that they like sharks until they have to have a personal relationship with a shark, you know, encounter a shark, spend time with a shark, or basically face the reality of a shark. They like the idea of a shark. Oh, as long as it's like a documentary creature or a movie character creature. But the real shark, I'm not so sure people actually love the real shark. You need to love the predator for being the predator. And not turn around one day you're like, oh, sharks are just the best thing. I love and respect them. And the next day you're like, well, something needs to be done about this. I mean, I love sharks and everything, but you know, there comes a time where you just need to Kill the damn things. That's just one example. Obviously, I gave the examples of the treatment these animals go through for television shows. So that brings me back to talking about Shark Week and all the supposed shark advocacy companies that promote Shark Week. You know, maybe deep down they don't like Shark Week and they're just like, yeah, but it's such a huge thing. We've got to kind of like attach ourselves to it and, you know, get some social media posts out there. Or maybe they really do like what they're seeing on Shark Week. So again, I got to ask, considering the horrors of what I've seen on Shark Week and the disconnect I described, I mean, I have a lot of examples. I'm going to stick to one because I'm sure it's hard to endure listening to me complain about another example. But this is what Shark Week is doing to sharks. And then people I'm supposed to respect and interact with are posting, hey, everybody, it's Shark Week. Let's celebrate. You cannot celebrate Shark Week and love sharks. On the most superficial level, absolutely. You know, they provide a ridiculous storyline, but hey, who cares? That's fun. Let's just go with the storyline. They have these crazy cameras and they create these crazy gadgets. And the footage that they can get now, who can argue with the footage that they can get? Is that the same thing as loving sharks? You like the product of the show that was made, but did you think about the shark and the well-being of the shark and what the shark went through and the false information being given not just by people that are anti-shark, but the people that are supposed to be the shark advocates sitting there just lying to your faces because creating drama is more important than the truth. Oh, I'm going to cut that one there. Man.